We have many different options to deploy applications in Azure. This includes our traditional virtual machines. You can spin up a virtual machine and start deploying applications in it. And you can also go for some container-based solutions. So this includes things like Azure Container Instance or container apps. And if you want Kubernetes-based solution, you can even use Azure Kubernetes Services. And other than these two, if you want serverless, micro or nano service solution, you can even use Azure Functions. But other than these, we have one more important compute service from Azure called Azure App Service. And this Azure App Service is suitable for deploying HTTP based applications. So this could be any type of HTTP based applications. And Azure App Service is a platform as a service, which means you don't need to worry about the hardware infrastructure. It will be managed by Microsoft for you. And another advantage of using Azure App Service is that out of the box, it supports many languages. So it supports .NET, Java, Python, Ruby. Most of the popular programming languages are supported by Azure App Service. And it also supports both Windows and Linux. Depending on your needs, you can either choose Windows or Linux based operating system for the underlying infrastructure. And Azure App Services works very well with Git repositories. It allows you to pull changes from any Git repositories automatically and deploy them into Azure App Services. So this could be your Azure DevOps or GitHub, or it could even be other Git repositories. And you can easily secure endpoints in Azure App Service using either your own certificate or certificates provided by Microsoft. And Azure App Services are easy to scale. You can easily increase or decrease Azure App Service capacity. And it comes with a built-in load balancer, and this load balancer takes care of distributing traffic to the backend instances. You don't need to worry about any of the load balancing logic. It will all be taken care by Microsoft for you. Okay, now let's go back to the beginning. We have seen that in Azure App Service, you can deploy HTTP based application. Now let's zoom into this and understand what type of applications you can deploy in Azure App Service. The first application is normal web application. You can deploy a normal web application. It supports both client-side rendered application as well as server-side rendered applications. And we can also deploy web APIs. And this is any type of HTTP based APIs like REST API or GraphQL and things like that. And another type of application that you can deploy in Azure App Service is called web jobs. So think of this as a background service, but this is running in the context of a web application. So you can either schedule it to run periodically, or you can have some sort of trigger to run this. So this could be an external trigger that could actually cause this web job to run. And you can also use Azure App Service to deploy backend for your mobile application. So when you deploy mobile backend in Azure App Service, you can use it for authentication or sending push notifications. You can even use this as a persistence layer for your application, and any custom logic needed for your mobile application can also be deployed here. Overall, Azure App Service is a platform as a service for HTTP based application with many options for you to configure and choose from. If you want a simple solution to deploy web applications without worrying about the underlying infrastructure or managing containers or virtual machines, then Azure App Service is a very good choice. Okay, so that is all I wanted to share about Azure App Service in this video. I hope this is useful. Thank you.